guys. Monday Night Live. How you guys doing in chat? I've been watching the chat. You guys are doing great. You guys are funny too. How you guys doing? Dazed and Confused, Anne Francis, Lions, Doth, something. Sorry, it's going so fast. Phaedra, Noodles, Christy. It's so fast. Sue Wilcox, Susan Ryan, Haiti Joyless, my good friend, Janice Harper, Main Chick Carrie. You guys, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. I know I say that all the time, but I really mean it. It's great to spend some time with fellow Gypsy verse people. You know, we're all kind of like in this little community, and we can spend some time together, go over some things, have a laugh, debunk a few things, if you know what I mean. And yeah, see what's going on. So I want to do some housekeeping before I get to the first part of the show. And then I'm going to get to your comments. But first, I want to say that over the weekend, and I got Mitch's permission to share this, that, you know, I said Mitch had the sizzle reel. And I know you guys have been waiting for that. And he knows you guys have been waiting for that. And many of you may know that we have a grandson who is level 2 autistic. And Friday, when Mitch got it, when I was done and I was giving it, you know, to him to do it, to make it, we had an issue. And our grandson needed us for the whole weekend. So we had to take care of him. And so it was a personal kind of family thing that went on. And I hope you guys will give us some grace with that. Things are okay now. But yeah, you know, family comes first. I'm sure you guys know family comes first. And so that is what went on. But it's almost done. I know I keep saying that. I go, I'm going to have to say this again, and I don't want to. But that's why I wanted to share that personal family thing with you guys. So just to let you know that we work here every day on this stuff. This is our full-time jobs. And so, yeah, over the weekend, we just had to suspend anything Becca Scoops related and tend to our family. So I hope you guys, you know, give us some grace for that. All right, let me get to some of the comments over here. Let me get your comments up on the, let me show your comments up there. All right. My eyes, but I do have my glasses. Christina Pania, $1.99 super chat. Thank you. B. Randy has become a new member. Welcome to the Becca Scoops Truth Train. It's not just my truth train, it's all of our truth trains. Angel Baby, member for 7 months. The train of truth will always get Brie in a spin with her gargling spit back. Heart you, Becca. Right back at you, Angel Baby. Thank you so much. Who also gifted 5 Becca Scoops memberships. She's always so generous. She's overseas, stays up extra late to watch these lives, and I really appreciate her. All right. Angie Cat Leatherman, $1.49 super sticker. Thank you so much. Forest Friend. Oh, 5 Becca Scoop memberships too. Forest Friend, another one well known to our channel. Michelle, and I'm sorry, Nickelodeon. I can't say your last name, Michelle. I'm so sorry. But I know who you are. I see your name a lot, and she's given us 99-pound super sticker. Thank you. And Angel Baby, another 5 memberships. Angel Baby is on a roll with the memberships. What can we say except thank her in chat? If you got one of those memberships, make sure you thank her. It's very generous of her. Okay. And we've got Runax, member for 7 months. The truth train is blazing down the tracks. It is. And I've got some updates on that too. It is blazing. Had some phone calls over the last few days. I'm going to share with you guys. All right. Brandy K, member for 6 months. Thank you, Brandy. Honey Floor, member for 6 months. Thank you, Becca, for being you. Oh, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Mersey Me, also one of my mods. Truth Train in full effect. Yes, it is. Absolutely, Mersey. Thank you so much. Kayla's $1.99. All aboard the Truth Train. Happy Monday Night Live. Thank you. Susan Ryan, been my mod for like since the beginning. She says, love you, Becca, and I love you, Susan. Thank you for being here. Main Chick Carrie, member for 7 months. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this thing, right? We're going to do it on this live. It's going to happen. It's going to happen tonight on this live. I can promise you that. All right. Forest Friend, member for 5 months. Appreciate and love you, Becca. Right back at you, Forest Friend. Right back at you. All right. Spooky Mamba, member for 6 months. Carolina Girl, $5 super sticker. Love what you do, Becca. Hashtag Justice for Dee Dee. Hashtag Operation Raid. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Operation Raid too. All right. Sherry, member for 1 month. Thank you, Sherry. I think it's May May, a new member. Welcome. Welcome, May May. And Jody Lee, I think. Yeah, or JD Lee, I think. I'm sorry. Member for 7 months. You're the best, Becca. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being a loyal member for 7 months. That's a long time, and I really appreciate that. All right. Sizzle 74, $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, Becca. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thanks the chat. You guys are the Truth Train movement. I'm just your humble servant here, just making it go. All right. Dazed and Confused. I love that name. $5. She says, good evening, Becca. What you do I love what you do, and thanks for all you do. You're amazing, lady. My grandson 4 is also level 2 autistic. He is my, yeah. Hey everyone, he's your heart. Yeah, I know. It can be rough depending on how it is, but they're just like the most precious of individuals. And you can't, of course you love them because they're, part of your family, but it's just extra special. All right. Let's see who's next. Danny Louise, $2. Thank you for the Truth Train. Thank you for being a part of the Truth Train, Danny. And we got Wendy Williams enters the chat. I love that name too. $5. My grands raised me, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. So I respect and commend you and Mitch for being 100% there for your sweetie. Hashtag Operation Raid. Thank you so much for that compliment. We really take it to heart. Thank you, Wendy. It's my Rhoda. I think that's how you say it. $5 super sticker. Thank you for what you do, Becca. Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate that. Let me see. Cosmic Kelly's TV has been a member for 6 months. Made it to my first live. Oh, wow. That's a milestone, huh? Made it for your first live. Love you so much. Thanks. Well, thank you for being here. I mean, I could be here and nobody would be here, and then there wouldn't be a live, right? So thank you guys for being here. Riley Virus, 499 pounds. Thank you for the great info from England. Thank you. My good friend that helps me with this channel is over in the UK. So I do appreciate the UK. Tanya Matheson, $7.99 super sticker. Oh, that's very generous, Tanya. Thank you. Linda Evans, $2. All aboard the Truth Train. Love you, Becca. Thank you. Thank you. Lisa Evans. Sorry. Lisa Evans. And I know Lisa Evans' name too. Seen it many times. Okay. Catman's Lady 1978, member for 6 months. Let's keep the Truth Train going. I am so on board. Thank you. Brianna, new member. Brianna, I think your last name. Dehn. Not sure how to pronounce that, Brianna. Forgive me, but I wanted to welcome you to the Becca Scoops family. Thank you so much for being here. It means so much to us. And last, is it low? I'm sorry. Oh, LOL AF. I love that name too. All right, $4.99. Thanks, Becca, for making sense out of the senseless in the Gypverse Truth Tellers. And we got K Ren, $4.99. I've been sick all weekend. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Such a comfort to see Becca live and join the truth train. Well, I get well soon. Sit back, get out your favorite beverage. Maybe you need some tea if you're sick. But for the rest of you over there on chat, get out your favorite beverage. Two more of these now. J Topaz, $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. And Farah Phoenix, $2.99 super sticker. So generous. You guys rock. Thank you so much. And we'll be going back to the comments periodically through this live. Let's get started. All right. We've got a few more, but I'm going to hold off. I know where I ended on Farah Phoenix. So when on our next little break, I will be going over to the comments and I will be getting to all of you. I promise. So after Farah Phoenix, I have made a mental note. Okay. Let me get to this. I need to switch it up here. Okay. So what's going on? Usually I start off not with something heavy, just kind of like an update on what's going on kind of in the Gypverse in general. And Gypsy has been a super busy bee over there on TikTok, hasn't she? I mean, have you guys seen this? She is like throwing up every video she ever made, in the history of her life over on TikTok. And there's some talk about what that might be. I've got like a visual here. Here we go. Here, this is just half of the page. She's got all of it. She's baking too. She made cake pops. Yeah, I was a little alarmed. And usually I don't talk anything about, kind of baby stuff, but she had the baby in the stroller, right? And then she's putting the groceries away and she didn't put the baby in the car first. And I think that's just so instinctual, right? I mean, that was just, to me, that was so instinctual that you would grab that baby. I mean, that's what I did, put all my kids, in the car first and then go back and put the groceries. I don't know. It's just odd, just a little tidbit there. But the bigger story, I think, is she's over here putting all these all up. And we do have a kind of clue to what and Gypsy's predictable. It's predictable. It's very predictable. We do have a little clue to what she is up to over on this TikTok. Let me get to that. Well, I got to take this one down first. All right. And so on her page, on the repost, this is the repost, as you guys can see. And basically what she's doing here is she's got this vlogger that she's got 3 vlogger things in a row, how to vlog. So I think she's back. Remember the YouTube channel? I'm going to be a family vlogger. I'm baking. I'm doing Christmas stuff. I'm a homemaker. I am going to turn my channel into people will want to watch a mommy murderer bake. No, that's not what's going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but no, people don't think of family vlogging when they think of the name Gypsy Rose Blanchard. But what can I say? She can do whatever she wants to do, right? But as I said, so predictable. She's back. She wants to make some money on TikTok, and she thinks if she bakes some baked goods that she'll make a lot of money, and then people will want to watch Gypsy. I don't know, watch paint dry maybe next. I don't know, right? I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff going on and just reposting stuff. Then there was the other, I'm just kind of giving a synopsis of what has been going on. And then I'm going to get to the dramatic stuff. She's been kind of like emulating Mia. Like I saw some videos, side by side, and I'm like, whoa. Now, if I was Mia, I would be kind of scared of that. I don't know. What do you guys think in chat? I mean, right? She's kind of like, we know that she's always kind of had an issue with Mia, and she's said before that she's jealous of Mia. So yeah, there's that too. There's that she's in this competition in her mind with Mia, and who can be the best Susie homemaker, going shopping. Like Mia was shopping at the grocery store, and then we see Gypsy at the grocery store. Now, I don't know, maybe it's my age, guys. Let me know, but I don't find it riveting to watch somebody shop at the, to buy their groceries. I don't understand that content. I really don't. Oh no, someone's calling me. Not right now. Not right now. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but she seems to be back in her mind. And by the way, what happened to the blown beauty art? Are we out of business? Are we out of business? I'm asking you guys, are we out of business? I don't know. I don't know. So that's kind of what's been going on, kind of like a synopsis of what she's been doing. I mean, other things too, but that to me is kind of like the headlines of what she's been doing over the last week. So what else? What else is going on? Right? What else? Well, I guess, and I know people email me, and let me just say up front, I like, not like, I am here to provide facts and receipts, right? And so if I have to, like, if it's a clip of Gypsy on a live, I'll use that. I prefer the clips of Gypsy herself talking about her own situation. That's grade A content for me because it's coming right out of the horse's mouth. Now, if you're new to this case, and we do have a lot of new members on my channel, so forgive me if I'm going to say some things that a lot of you old timers already know. But Gypsy, kind of way back when she first got out of prison, she met this woman named Bree, and she appointed her kind of her spokesperson. In fact, for a time over on TikTok, Bree had like a sign behind her during her lives that said, "Gypsy gives me full authority to speak for her." And so this is kind of what goes on. Bree is kind of like the person who um, gives Gypsy's arguments about her case, right? And tries to give her narrative and tries to back it up with things. And so sometimes I have to use a clip of her if I want to make a point, right? If I want to, make a point that here's what Gypsy says via Bree. Bree's her spokesperson, and here's what I see, or here's the receipts, or here, this isn't true, and here's why, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to kind of do in the beginning of this too. So apparently, I didn't catch it, but Bree did some kind of a live and was trying to say some things, and about me, and most of it I didn't really care about. It wasn't riveting. I didn't feel like she made any points at all. But there was a couple things that I thought merited going over, especially when she's not telling the truth. So let's get to that. Let's get to that. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring up the first clip here. This is Bree trying to debunk me.
Almost say we're ready, and he said, "Oh my God, we just came up with."
We wanted to hire Dr. Fabian. Dr. Fabian was going to be the expert that looked at all the records.
So there, you guys hear my voice. It's very. Let me just say, you guys are probably like this. Do you hate hearing your voice? I hate hearing my voice. It's very uncomfortable, So that's another reason I don't like listening to this stuff. But okay, so you're going to hear me, and she is going to try to make some points. So let's go ahead and listen to her playing me on my live and then trying to make points.
And said Gypsy, that Dee Dee had Munchausen. All right? Okay. She just read it. You just heard it from.
Yeah, she didn't even let me finish it, though.
Okay.
I wonder why.
Notes from the attorney. All right. Now, did that happen? Did that happen? I know I've gone over this before, but I have to show you this before I show you the next part, okay?
Pretty busy caseload, and doesn't case it is.
Oh, another way that she's manipulated you. I watched this is a 3-hour live, by the way. But I knew that something was missing about it. So let's see what this is on Crime Talk Weekly or something like that. That was a 3-hour live. I don't know if y'all saw that live where Derek and him. Yeah. No, I'm going to show you what she plays.
Mike had contacted me, about this.
Okay, so he's saying once Mike Stanfield, Gypsy's attorney, had
So just a little background. Some of you may remember this has to do with Dr. Fabian, who is or calls himself an expert in Munchausen by proxy. The background is Dr. Fabian was interviewed by another YouTube channel big YouTube channel called Crime Weekly. In that interview, Dr. Fabian divulged that Mike Stanfield, Gypsy's attorney, had approached him to maybe come on board her defense. And so he talks about that, and he doesn't ultimately come on board because Gypsy gets a plea deal, and he talks about it. And I go over that. But here is what Bree is going to say I did to you guys. Here is what she's going to say, that I am manipulating you, yada, yada, yada. So let's watch. Let's listen.
Contacted me, and of course, this is Dr. Fabian.
Situation, I have a pretty busy caseload, and I said, Mike, I'm going to get to it. And probably 3 months later, I called him and said, hey, we're ready. And he said, oh my God, we just came up with a plea deal. You won't believe this. And, it was somewhere around, like, I think 10 years. And we had to take it. He told me about it. Meanwhile, he did send me the records, which I had started to review. And I've also...
He sent me the records that I started to review. Did he continue to review them? No.
Oh, wait, how do you know that?
Never hired.
How do you know that? She doesn't know that.
I do know that, and I'm going to prove it, but let's just hear her out.
Because he does continue to review some of these. And not only that, but he has spoken to Gypsy. She doesn't play the rest of this clip because she's manipulative as fuck, and she doesn't want you to hear what he says. This is the problem that I have, not just with her.
Wait. Did she just say, I don't play the rest of that clip? Did you hear it? Did you all hear her say that I don't play the rest of that clip? Okay, take note of that.
Mostly with her, but other content creators. Just like she never finished my live, what I said, she didn't finish what he said either. It just blows my mind, because y'all need to go watch this live if you haven't seen it. There is so much information that is in that live, and Derek is asking him a lot of questions, and y'all can just learn a lot if you haven't watched it yet. And I would skip through all the parts of Derek and his, I don't know if it's his wife or his friend. I think they're just like partners on podcasts. Just skip it to the parts.
Yeah, don't listen to Derek and Stephanie, the people that are actually the YouTube content creators who are taking in the information and giving you their opinion. Don't listen to them. Why would you listen to them?
Of the doctor, of Fabian, and Derek. I'm telling you, there's so much information to learn, and you'll understand. You'll even understand the malingering and the Munchausen by proxy. Because this is one thing, man. I wish that I did speak to Derek, but not for a long period of time. And I wish I would have, because him and his...
All right, there's a little part 2 here. Here comes the next clip.
Was it going to get...
Because he thought it was a very interesting case. Something that was captivating. So actually,
Why would he continue to review them? He wouldn't. He wasn't going to get...
Because he thought it was a very interesting case.
So I say, why would he continue to review them, the records? I'm going to bring you up the actual clip from my live. So we're going to put this to bed. Okay. We're going to put this to bed, but let's hear her other accusations. Oh, look at that face right there.
Something that was captivating. So actually, Becca's telling you what she thinks you should know. Oh no, not what you think, what she knows and what she thinks you should perceive. She's like, why would he continue to look at him? Well, how would you know unless you finish watching the 3-hour clip, Becca? But let Becca just put to your head whatever she wants y'all to believe. If y'all want that, y'all can have that. But I would rather listen to a content creator that's going to let you see the full context. And you're going to see really what she does. And she makes a fool of herself, y'all. And this is why I'm so excited about this live. And it's going to be probably almost the
She's so excited.
ending of it. Well, not the ending of it, but just wait.
What?
Hey, this is the expert. And then guess what the other thing he's going to say here that he bases his opinion on when he goes on like News Nation and all the other bullshit shows. Here's what he says. The other information that he got that influenced his opinion.
Admittedly, seen some of these, Gypsy Rose specials and had looked at the
manipulative as fuck. Okay. So he says, now before he says that, because he says, and of course, seeing some of these, he says a slew of other things before he says.
Okay. So here's what she's saying. You got to understand what she's saying here. So you know how I play part of a clip and then I stop it and then I say something, right? And then I continue playing the clip. She's saying that I left out a whole slew of stuff that he said, that I just bypassed a whole bunch of stuff that he said. And that's a fucking lie. And I'm going to prove it. Okay. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know what live she was watching. And you know what? I don't mind her taking me on. I don't like lying. Don't lie. Disagree with me. Make fun of me. Do your ad hominem attacks at me. But don't lie. Just don't do that. All right, here we go. And then I'm going to show you exactly what happened here and how she is. I don't know. Maybe she isn't knowingly lying. I don't know. I don't get it.
That because he says, and also, I've seen some of the documentaries, the Annie's blah, 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 blah. She leaves out
opinion on when he goes on like News Nation and all the other bullshit shows. Here's
News
what he
Nation.
says. You know, the other information that he got that influenced his opinion.
Admittedly, seeing some of these, Gypsy Rose specials and had looked at some of the
manipulative as fuck. Okay. So he says, now before he says that, because he says, and of course, seeing some of these, he says a slew of other things before he says that. Because he says, and also, I've seen some of the documentaries, the Annie's, blah, 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 blah. She leaves out all the other shit he says before.
So you hear it. She says, I'm leaving out. I am manipulating you guys. I am playing a clip and then I'm skipping way ahead and I'm not letting you hear the total clip, right? That's the accusation. Let me see if she has anything else of value to say here. It's just a few more seconds.
Manipulative as fuck.
Oh.
Becca has always done this since the first video she has ever made. Just saying. She left out every piece of information he said before that. This is a 3-hour live. Because she's a manipulator, and a liar. And she might have never been a psych nurse like she claimed because she was.
I was never a psych nurse. I wonder what Marie Chica, who was the nurse manager, thinks over at USC who hired me. Do I have to go there? It's just ridiculous. That's just a ridiculous accusation. Oh, I don't think she was a psych nurse, and I don't think her husband was a detective, and I mean, come on. All right, so that's what she said. So here I'm going to bring you guys the truth and the clip. Let's just put this to bed, shall we? Let's just put it to bed. Okay, so now I am going to show you the clip from my live and how this actually went down, and I'm going to let you guys decide if I left anything out or I was manipulating you in any way. Please, if you think that I left something out, do I look like I'm skipping ahead? You guys go ahead. Let's take a look at the clip together.
Said though, once Mike had contacted me, about this.
Okay, so he's saying once Mike Stanfield, Gypsy's attorney, had contacted me, and of course, this is Dr. Fabian.
Situation, I have a pretty busy caseload, and I said, Mike, I'm going to get to it. And probably 3 months later, I called him and said, hey, we're ready. And he said, oh my God, we just came up with a plea deal. You won't believe this. And, it was somewhere around I think 10 years. And he said we had to take it. He told me about it. Meanwhile, he did send me the records, which I had started to review. And I've also
he sent me the records that I started to review. Did he continue to review them? No, he was never hired. Why would he continue to review them? He wouldn't. He wasn't going to get paid. This is the expert. And then guess what the other thing he's going to say here that he bases his opinion on when he goes on like News Nation and all these other bullshit shows. Here's what he says, the other information that he got that influenced his opinion.
Admittedly, seeing some of these.
I just want to pause it there. Did you see any sleight of hand? Have I gone to a different clip? No, right? I'm playing the clip. I'm not going to something else. What I just said there, I'm going to prove here with what he says. I'm backing it up. I'm saying, here's what he's going to say. He's going to say this. So here, let's just keep playing it.
Gypsy Rose specials, and I had looked at some of the discovery, and I was aware of the medical history of her, or what was, I would say in much part fabricated by the mother. And
so that's it. Okay, so what this big deal is about, this big brouhaha from her, is that she's claiming I paused it and then went fast forward and didn't let you guys hear the whole clip. I did. And my take on that, which is backed up by what Dr. Fabian says, what does he say? Here's the big deal. Here, I don't know why this is such a big deal. It is kind of a big deal, but she really wanted to lie about this. So, all right. He says, Mike Stanfield called me and said, hey, I got this case. I think I'm going to need you on this case. And Fabian's like, okay. And so then Fabian says, And Mike sent me over some of the records, and I started to take a look at them. But then Mike calls me and says, guess what? We've got a plea deal. We got a plea deal, right? So, meaning Mike's not hiring Dr. Fabian to look at the records. They already have a plea deal. It's over. And then what Dr. Fabian says in that clip, which I show you the entire clip, he talks about the other way he got information on the case. And what does he say? He cites the documentaries. He says, and I also watched, right? So then later on, and you can go watch the live, but I'm going to tell you exactly what else happens. He talks about talking to Gypsy for 15, no more than 30 minutes. That is the sum total of Dr. Fabian interacting in this case. Was he hired? No. Did he look at all the medical records? No, he says so. Mike called me, said, whoa, we don't need you. Would he just keep reading them just because he doesn't have anything better to do? No, he even says, I'm so busy. He's working for a living. He makes money for a living. They weren't going to pay him. He was not going to keep reading it for no reason. And he backs that up by saying, because after he says that, he thinks to himself during the interview, oh, well, that makes it kind of sound like maybe I don't have a full grasp on the case. Then he says, well, I did watch a lot of the documentaries and got a lot of my information that way. I'm just, that's just the synopsis of what he says there, right? Now, did I manipulate you? Did I do something to you? Did I do some magic powers on you and make you guys manipulate you guys into thinking something that isn't there, that isn't true? Let me know. Let me know, because I am not about doing that to anyone. It's not who I am. It's not what I do. Okay. In fact, I'm kind of a stickler with things, and we're going to get to some of that too, where some people believe some things about this case and I don't necessarily believe them because I'm a big stickler. I want to see the evidence before I say, yeah, I think that's true. Yes, and sometimes I know I frustrate people in the Gypverse because sometimes I go, I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see that. And I'm going to bring that up right now. One thing, and here's where I think a healthy debate can happen. Okay. Here's where I think a healthy debate can happen. So if you guys don't know, Anna Templeton came out with part 2. It was really good. Really, if you guys haven't watched it, if you don't know who Anna Templeton is, after this live, I'll put her in the description box. She has got a part 2 of Gypsy, of going over the Gypsy case. Okay. And she's really smart and she wants to learn. She's like, people had corrected her from her last video, a few things, minor things, like I said, that she, didn't get exactly right. There's so much to this case. How can you in one sitting really get every, thing right? And she was like, yeah, she admits it. She's an adult. She takes constructive criticism like an adult. And so she came out with a part 2. Now, there are certain issues in the Gypverse that people think one way and other people think another way. Yet we're all still in the same community, right? Some people think that Gypsy was physically part of doing something to Dee Dee. Some people, there's a lot of different issues, right? There's a lot of issues. That's just one. Okay. Another one of them is, did Gypsy ever have leukemia? Okay. Now, is this like a big fat deal? No, it could be technically, but some people believe that there is proof that Gypsy had leukemia. And I'm going to show you what the proof is that they're saying. And I want to have a discussion, a healthy discussion. Got it? Not a fight, not throwing stones. I think the more we can discuss some of these issues that are kind of in a gray area, the faster we'll get to the truth, because more brains working on something, right, will get to the truth faster. And some of these things we may never get to the total truth, and some of us may disagree on some of these minor issues. It doesn't matter. We all believe the core thing about Gypsy Rose, right? That she was not medically abused, and that her mom has been vilified, and the mainstream media has been covering for her either knowingly or unknowingly all these years. Okay, we all believe that. That is what we all believe. That's the truth train, basically. But here's the minor issue, and I'm going to bring up this leukemia thing, okay? And so I'm going to play devil's advocate with this, because that's just who I am, because I want to get to the truth. And I think that we can all be adults and not flip out if Becca doesn't think like the other person thinks, right? I mean, yeah, okay. So here is the well, you can't see me, but that's okay. Here is the main evidence that has come out that says, look, Gypsy really had leukemia. Okay. So this is part of her medical records, and there you'll see resolved acute lymphoblastic leukemia, history of at age 5 years old, in remission. There's a number that follows that, and then it says resolved. Under that, it says comments. It gives a date, 8/21/2013, and a time and a different registered nurse. So it seems like that came from this different registered nurse. Okay. Now, people say, look, it's in her medical records. It's truth. I want to show you guys something. Go up from that, where it says up above resolved. Do you see where it says paraplegia since birth? Unclear etiology. Paraplegic since birth, unclear etiology, and it has a number after it. Now, some people are saying, I don't know what these numbers mean. Okay. I wasn't a medical coder. I worked basically my whole career for a county system. And so I'm not sure what these numbers mean, if it's medical coding or whatever. But this also saying she was paralyzed since birth, unknown cause, unknown etiology. We know that's not true. We know that Gypsy was not born paralyzed, right? Right. So that's there too. Do you see my issue with this? Do you see my issue? Okay. So I don't know, based on this, just by this one nurse's note, if this is definitive proof that Gypsy had leukemia. We know that Dee Dee said she was paralyzed since birth. It's right there. It says it's up there. There's certain things that Dee Dee says that gets into these nurses' notes that aren't 100% true. A lot of times things are true. It's kind of a mixed bag, to be honest with you. Okay. So here is an example where a lot of people believe, yes, this is definitive proof she had it. And my take is, I don't know. I'm not completely 100% there. Okay. And don't hate me for that. You don't even have to agree with me, because it's healthy to have a debate about this stuff, right? But that reads like if I was making that nurse's note, if I was talking to Dee Dee, I would have written it like that too. Oh, your daughter had leukemia at what age? Oh, 5. Oh, she's in remission. Oh, it's resolved. Oh, okay. So I would have written it like that. That's how I would have written it too. That's my kind of thing. And then you go up there with the paraplegia, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know. So I hope you guys get that. And that's just kind of a side note, but I wanted to bring it up because I think this community is so smart, and we have so many resources. And the more of us that know about the certain issues, that, well, is that true or is that not true? Right? Certain things about this case, we know like 100% truth. There's so much evidence that backs up certain things, that the medical abuse stuff, to me, and I didn't start out here a year and a half ago. I did not start out thinking 100% sure that Gypsy was not medically abused. I did not start there. I thought there was a possibility of that. Now, today, as I sit here, I can safely say I am sure 100% she was not medically abused, not based on what I have seen in the medical records. Okay, I can say that. And that's a big deal because, like I said, I won't go there with the leukemia. Not yet. Not yet. But I will go with the medical abuse allegations that everything that happened to her was backed up by sound, diligent stuff that the doctors did. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to take a little side note there. I want to see how you guys are doing. Thank you guys so much. You guys are great. And I'm so glad that I could share that with you. And I know that you guys aren't going to send me hate mail. Well, maybe you are. I don't know. I'm just kidding. You're not. Please don't. Please don't. All right, let's go to the next thing that we need to go back over. And I promise that this isn't going to be the whole live, but I wanted to get this little dust up out of the way with Gypsy's spokesperson, Bree. Here's the next clip that I thought I needed to have a rebuttal on.
Make any sense to me? Like, that's not a legal defense. That's evidence of abuse. You had no idea? I'll show y'all proof of that in a little bit. Let's see. So, okay, so different legal defenses that they would have gone with if had they gone to trial. They have duress, coercion, which means she acted.
Okay, this is interesting for several reasons. One thing is that Bree's reading from Mike Stanfield's notes. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. She's trying to say, here's what the different defenses would have been for Gypsy. She's trying to say something about, like, it wasn't just medical abuse, that there was all this other abuse, and here is what his notes were, and somehow this means that we're crazy. I'll let her explain it to you.
Because she believed she had no choice. She was controlled, threatened, and had no safe escape. And MVP would prove why duress existed. Not just MVP, we're going to get into that. Diminished capacity, not insanity, but that her ability to make normal decisions was impaired by trauma, long-term medical abuse, developmental stunting, psychological conditioning. MVP would be evidence, along with other things, not a defense. Battered child syndrome, battered person syndrome. You see how he put that in his notes? Battered spouse syndrome. But he needs to find, like, that's not, obviously, he's like, I can't find the parallel, like, because, I mean, it's a mother and a daughter, not a spouse. So he's saying
he can't find a parallel link because I'm going to show you with Dr. Mark Feldman, their expert that they like to quote, right? Says this case was unprecedented. Why? Because never has a so-called alleged Munchausen victim murdered the perpetrator. And as we know, in crimes and criminology, crimes fit patterns. And when there's no pattern for the crime, it's unprecedented. Now, at one point, I say it wasn't unique. She goes crazy about me saying it wasn't unique. It wasn't unique because, in my opinion, Gypsy she falls into a pattern of many, many other girls who have gotten their boyfriends to murder either their father or their mother or both. It's not unique what she did. It's pretty commonplace when you're talking about matricide or patricide, right? So they're trying to make this defense be about medical abuse, but it doesn't fit. And that's why Mike Stanfield is like, I don't know, there's no parallel. It's unprecedented. He's kind of pulling his hair out. He doesn't know what to do. I don't know that she understands this, but let's just listen.
He's asking for help from an expert like attorneys do. A subtype of self-defense law for chronic abuse victims. But the thing is with this one, with self-defense, it would be hard. They probably wouldn't end up using this one because it wasn't something that like was happening in that right specifically. It wasn't like a reaction to, self-defense, like how it normally
Yeah, it wasn't a crime of passion. She planned it for 2 years.
would be. So MVP is evidence, not a defense. Y'all have been fighting over whether Gypsy's mother had MVP for over what? Almost 2 years.
Yes, because if we can prove she didn't have Munchausen by proxy, Gypsy's whole entire narrative falls apart. It's not that we're saying it was a technical legal defense. Of course it's not. But why have so many people been grabbed by this notion and seen evidence and come to believe that if Dee Dee didn't have Munchausen, that's a big fucking deal? Because it means, why did she kill her then? But she gets caught up with saying, oh, MVP is an illegal defense. Of course it's not. Of course. It's just this common sense stuff. And I hope I never have to go over any of this stuff ever again.
Years now. What's crazy is, let's just say she didn't.
See, now she's saying, let's just say that she wasn't medically abused. Now she's going to go on to say all this other abuse, as if I'll just listen.
Well, let's see what other things would have been. Okay, any kind of physical abuse. Oh yeah, she can't prove that. Okay, let's go to the next one. Psychological abuse. That one could definitely be proven. Being isolated like that. Okay, well, I'll give you examples. Threatening Gypsy, with papers, like when she has those papers and she's like, now, even though she had power of attorney, Gypsy didn't know the difference between that and guardianship. She just knows that her mother had papers over her, and she did. I had those papers. Telling Gypsy she was mentally a 7-year-old. Telling her she couldn't survive without her. Isolating her from the outside world. Controlling her friendships.
Okay, so she's going to go on a litany of different abuse topics that Mike has written here. I'm kind of going
having
forward.
that kind of like that fear in your mind constantly like holding you back. Just that one thing can hold you back from wanting to escape. Because like, what if you can't go to the doctor? Which is another reason why she asked Nick, do they have a hospital near you? Another thing, emotional abuse, guilt tripping.
She's saying these are all the things that Dee Dee did to Gypsy.
Let's see, shaming, infantilizing. Can't say she didn't do that. Using love and affection as a reward punishment system. Gypsy's entire emotional world was controlled by Dee Dee. And some of these is notes that I wrote. Some of this is notes from actual Mike's notes. Isolation abuse. I'm sorry. Being pulled out of school, being cut off from peers, being denied normal developmental experiences. Being hidden behind the wheelchair, meaning like being confined to a wheelchair. Holding all social power. Like, at the end of the day, like if her dad called, she had to be right there. If Aaliyah was around, she had to be right there. When she was at the Vision Con, she was right there. Like these people, that whole confusion, which I'm not even going to get into that, of her going off. No, in a hotel room, that's not what happened. Somebody she met there, she went off with. That is Dan. The person in Megan's Star catalog, they're talking about Dan. Financial abuse. So like using her for charity fraud, using her for donations. Make-A-Wish for like Dee Dee loved Disney World just as much as Gypsy did. Dee Dee.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's Joanne. Mike was brainstorming. Exactly. These are his brainstorming. He's saying this was an unprecedented case. I don't know what to do. And exactly. This is like a list when you sit down and you go, okay, what can I say? What can I, he's brainstorming. Yeah. And he's saying here, this abuse, or how about this abuse or this abuse? And so that's what
paid
this is.
To go to Disney World some of those times. Not just, they had like 3 Make-A-Wishes from 3 different foundations though. Developmental abuse. And this was one of the major defense angles that would have been used if Gypsy would have went to trial. Deliberate stunting of emotional and cognitive development. Lying about Gypsy's education, preventing her from maturing into an adult mentality. Treating her as mentally impaired when she wasn't. This directly supports diminished capacity. Like, y'all think Munchausen by proxy is the whole thing, but it's not. There's so much focus.
So here now is the shift in the narrative. Forget the Munchausen by proxy. Look at all of this other abuse that Gypsy suffered, right? That's what this is. That's what she's saying. It's not Munchausen. Forget that. Don't worry about that, because this was like such horrendous abuse. Not only did we have the medical abuse, but we had all of this other abuse that she's listing.
Focus on that when that's the media assault, in my opinion. But there's abuse on so many different levels and so many different forms. And I'm like, these people are so focused on Munchausen by proxy and they think it's a defense when that's not a defense. Like, that is not illegal defense. You can't be like, defense is Munchausen by proxy. No, that is evidence.
I don't know anyone that says the defense was Munchausen by proxy. No, it was her narrative. I had to do this. It was me or her. She was going to cut my throat. Me or her. Medical abuse. Munchausen by proxy. That's why it's a big issue. That's why it's a big point in all of this, right? I don't understand how she doesn't understand that. No one is here to talk about the legal defense strategies. You know what I mean? I'm not a lawyer. I don't think you're a lawyer. Maybe we have some lawyers in the chat, but yeah, no one on TikTok and comments, oh, you guys are all stuck on Munchausen by proxy. That's not a legal defense. Yeah, no kidding. And I don't understand how that's even a point. What's the point? If you're in a debate, you don't win any points with that point. You know what I mean?
For a defense. But y'all been calling it defense for so long. And I've just been sitting back wondering why.
No, I can't.
Social and perpetual abuse. Coached her to behave younger. Created a false identity for her. Told her she was helpless. Shaped her entire worldview. This is vital to explaining why Gypsy truly believes she had no other option.
So here in Mike's note, this is vital. To prove, like, if he was going to go to trial, he's brainstorming. We would need to, bring out all these elements and to prove that she had no other choice, right? No other choice. I want you guys to remember this because I'm going to show you something that's probably not going to be totally shocking to you, but it's going to just put a whole kibosh on this whole thing. It's going to be the reality. Okay.
Medical neglect, medical torture. Let's see, over-medicating, giving medications with significant side effects, which I talked about earlier, preventing her from eating normally, keeping her malnourished. Which, the evidence of that is the fact that when she was with other people, the few times she was without Dee Dee, she ate fine. But yet, when her mother had her, she wouldn't eat. Also, almost always, if you get a feeding tube put in, you're going to get a swallow study done if it's because of difficulties feeding, but she didn't. Do you know that they didn't give her a swallow study until 7 years after the feeding?
Did you know she was in a feeding hospital for a month? To try to find it. Okay. This, all right, this right here. Gypsy's weight was shown a steady increase from 36 pounds to present weight of 57 down here. Prior to the PEG placement, prior to the G2 placement, Gypsy had undergone intensive evaluation and attempted treatment for her feeding aversions by the feeding hospital. After a month, after they tried to fix it, after they tried to do everything, which I'm sure was a swallow study probably involved in that too, for a month, you're trying to treat somebody who's got swallowing problems and is having issues, with all consistencies of food, and she weighs 36 pounds. Yeah. So this is, again, did you guys know she didn't have a swallow study test till, 7 years later? And they should have done that before they placed the G tube? No, they just had her in the hospital for a month. That's all. I'm sure that was one of many, many tests they did. They were trying to figure it out. And after a month, they said, okay, we're going to have to put the G tube in. That's how that happened. Okay. Did she need it till she was 24? I don't think so. Probably not. Did she need it then? Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, she did. Hell yeah, she did. Based on the medical records, the notes, her weight. Yes. Okay. I don't know if she says any more because I wanted this whole thing. Hold on.
Please. Why? Let's see, over medicating, giving medications with significant side effects, which I talked about earlier, preventing her from eating normally, keeping her malnourished. Which the evidence of that is the fact that when she was with other people, the few times she was without Dee Dee, she ate fine. But yet, when her mother had her, she wouldn't eat. Also, almost always, if you get a feeding tube put in, you're gonna get a swallow study done if it's because of difficulties feeding, but she didn't. Do you know that they didn't give her a swallow study, until 7 years after the feeding tube was placed? Why?
Because she was in the feeding hospital for a month. That's why. All right. So she's trying to bring up these abuse claims, right? That even if we don't now forget Munchausen, she was abused in so many. Do you guys understand how emotionally abused she was? That's what this argument is. This is from Mike's notes. He's brainstorming. He's thinking, if I got to go to trial, what am I going to say? What's the defense going to be? He's got to put up a defense for her, but he was struggling. He was struggling because it was unprecedented, right? Okay. So let's take a listen to, I've got a few things here to follow up with this. All right. Here's Mike on Mike Stanfield about her defense.
And we also weren't sure that there was even a
little low, so I won't say anything. So just go ahead and turn it up if you guys need to. There's another part here. Thanks to Ashley Baby over on TikTok. I know I don't know how I forgot about this clip, but it also involves Mike Stanfield, and it's about, and this, because we're talking about her defense and how difficult it was going to be. Let me back up here. Okay. Struggling there. Look at how he's struggling. We did not, and he's thinking about it. Just back it up a minute. Just watch his face when the producer asked him, "You didn't know about this stabbing video?" That's one of my favorite pics right there of her looking at them like, "Oh crap, now they know. Now they know the real me." And we had no precedent. And the precedent, again, I want to stress, is there's never been a Munchausen victim that murdered the perpetrator, the so-called alleged, right? Right. That's why he couldn't find it. He's like, well, there's no other case like this. That's why he's going, well, maybe battered spouse, like some abuse kind of legal defense. You know what I mean? But an exact case like this, no, he couldn't find it. And what does that tell you? And I know I keep saying this. What it tells you, if you study criminology, is what the hell? That doesn't add up, because crimes and criminals follow patterns. And so what is Gypsy's pattern more likely? That was the other reason that I decided when I first started researching this. This was a huge point for me and for Mitch. It's unprecedented. It doesn't fit into a pattern. And criminals always fit into a pattern. That's why you study criminology. One of the reasons, anyways. Okay. So I want to show you the pattern. What pattern is she? Okay. Crime. Criminals are predictable. So being an anomaly breaks the pattern. It doesn't fit. Gypsy Munchausen by proxy case. End quote. Now here is the pattern. And tell me if this convinces you, because to me, this seems more likely of the pattern she fits into. This is from one of our videos. Here we go. So out of all the victims of this brand of medical abuse, Gypsy Rose is the one anomaly. Or is she? Most criminals follow a pattern. This is the study of criminal psychology and the study of crime. Criminals are predictable. So being an anomaly breaks the pattern. It doesn't fit. Gypsy Rose doesn't fit the known pattern of victims of medical abuse. However, she does fit the pattern of another series of crimes. And that's where these videos of Gypsy having her emotional outbursts about Ken become valuable. Also know Gypsy's capacity to do violence surrounded her first alleged lover, Dan Glidewell. It was over Gypsy's freakish obsession with Dan that she admitted she picked up the BB gun and pumped 10 rounds into her mother. Then, when she met Nicholas Godejohn and her mother, Claudinia Blanchard, put the kibosh on that relationship, Gypsy's capacity for violence toward her mother reared its ugly head again, this time in the successful planning of her mother's demise. There are many examples of young women, usually in their late teens to early 20s, who plot their parents' demise with their boyfriends. And we were surprised to learn that Gypsy has a lot in common with these young women. Gypsy fits the pattern of those crimes. In 2008, 16-year-old Erin Caffey organized the murder of her mother, Penny Caffey, and younger brothers, Matthew and Tyler. The murders were committed by Erin's then-boyfriend, Charlie Wilkeson, and his friends. Eerily, Erin's mom, Penny Caffey, was the first to be shot and was then stabbed with a samurai sword, leading to her near decapitation, much like Claudinia Blanchard, Gypsy's mother. Weeks prior to the murders, Erin was told that she was not allowed to see Wilkinson after Penny discovered his MySpace page, which had references to profanity and sex. Erin and Wilkinson began planning the murders after this incident so they could stay together, reportedly planning the crime for a month. A former boyfriend was also told by Erin that she wanted her family dead. This is similar to Gypsy, who admitted to shooting her mom after Dee Dee nixed her relationship with her first boyfriend, Dan Glidewell, and how she ramped up her efforts to convince her second boyfriend, Nicholas Godejohn, to aid her in killing her mom after Dee Dee allegedly nixed their relationship. Sierra Halseth is another case. This one really hits home, which also is seemingly aligned with Gypsy's. Notice the use of knives. Also, the murderous couple make a sexually inappropriate video after the crime.
Good evening to you. I'm Brian Loftus.
And I'm Denise Valdez. And this is a story the I-Team first broke back in April after the body of a Las Vegas man was discovered. Now Vanessa Murphy is here with new material at the center of this case. Vanessa?
Brian and Denise, police say the parents of Sierra Halseth and Aaron Guerrero told them they couldn't see each other anymore. The teens planned on running away together to California, and then Sierra's father ended up murdered.
And I want to say here, right? What did Gypsy say after her mom was overprotective and that she wouldn't allow her to be with Nick, right? And this is why they had to do her mom, right? It's the same. This is the pattern. She fits in with these other crimes. She's not an anomaly. She's not unique. Okay. Even these two make sexually explicit videos right after the murder. It's like to a T almost.
Team has reviewed dozens of photos considered as evidence. Many of them are too gruesome to show on television, but here's what we can show you, and we want to warn you this story is disturbing.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. After day 3 after somebody.
Whoa! Don't put that on camera.
It was worth it.
This video is now considered evidence in the murder case against 16-year-old Sierra Halseth and 18-year-old Aaron Guerrero. They're accused of killing Sierra's father, 45-year-old Daniel Halseth, in April. His body discovered inside this Las Vegas home after his mother, Christine Halseth, and an ex-wife realized something wasn't right. They hadn't heard from him. The I-Team has obtained text messages between Sierra and Christine Halseth. Thursday night, "I'm trying to get a hold of your dad. Where is he?" Sierra's response, "His phone has been acting up. It should be all fixed by tomorrow night. No worries." Smiley face. On Friday, Christine Halseth is increasingly worried about her son. "Why are you doing this?" Now the police are involved. 2 friends visited the house and found a crime scene with smoke inside the home. Investigators say the teens stabbed Halseth and attempted to set fire to and dismember his body. Prosecutors presented to the grand jury these photos from before Halseth's body was found. Sierra purchasing bleach at Winco. Aaron at Home Depot buying a saw, lighter fluid, gloves, and more. There's a bloody scene inside the home with knives, saws, the lighter fluid, and burnt material. Police say the teens used Daniel Halseth's bank cards to make purchases and withdrawals and put a blood-soaked rug inside the trunk of his vehicle, which they used as a getaway car. According to detectives, while they were on the run, they recorded this cell phone video. They also talk about sex and include a graphic detail, which the I-Team has chosen not to air. The video wraps up with this exchange.
Gypsy's own plan also included the use of a large knife she shoplifted from Walmart. Sierra's father was stabbed over 70 times, while Gypsy's mother, Claudinia Blanchard, was stabbed 17 times. Then there is Gypsy and Nick's infamous sexually charged video they produced after the crime, which is hauntingly similar to Sierra Halseth's video with her boyfriend that they also posted after they murdered her father. Both videos have sexually charged themes.
Hi, honey. How you feeling it? He's eating a brownie. But later he will be eating me.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. After earning day 3 after something.
Wow! Don't put that on camera.
It was worth it.
And we had a lot today.
We had sex a lot today. You see? You see this? This is called a pattern. I mean, this is what it is. This is what it was, right? Not some unprecedented anomaly.
It was worth it. I got plenty of sex with it. I was payment for doing it.
And no.
Now, this guy obviously is much more sophisticated than Nick. This guy is a sociopath also, psychopath also, right? Okay, if you watch him at any length, that he's not autistic, but you have the sexual element. They're doing it right after. They're making videos, bragging about the sex after. It is the same. It is the same. Okay.
No this time. We got through that. We overcame.
But Gypsy and her lot want you to believe, no, it's not like them. She's not like this. This had nothing to do with it. She's unique. She doesn't fit any pattern. She's unprecedented. No, that's not how it works in criminology. All right. And this is what convinced Mitch and I, one of the main points was, where's the pattern? If it is indeed that her mother was medically abusing her and that it was her, she feared for her life and all of that, but it's never happened in a Munchausen case ever. Well, that's weird. That doesn't fit a pattern. Sure seems like she fits the pattern with these two.
Yeah. So yeah.
Another case that is remarkably similar to the Gypsy. I won't play this whole thing, but there is, if you want to see this, I'll put the link to my video that goes over this. This is another one also with this Richardson girl. She was actually only 13 years old, but a very smart 13-year-old. But here is how this case mirrors Gypsy and Nick. The boyfriend, Jeremy Steinke, he was also autistic. Okay, he was 23. He thought she was 16. She manipulates him. It's the same thing. Then right after the murder, they go to a party and are seen making out. It's a pattern. Okay, it's a pattern. And so that's why you'll never, unless you got something else for me to look at, I'm going with, she is not unique. This is the pattern she fits into. And what does that mean? But what does that mean if this is the truth? What I have just shown you. If this is the truth, well, she should be in prison for life because they all are. Now, the two weirdos with the daughter, the one that I showed a lot of, they do have the possibility of parole after like 25 years or something, right? And that doesn't mean they're going to get it. I don't think they will. I think that was such a heinous crime, what she did to her father, stabbing him over 70 times. And then they're clearly psychopaths, right? But then you've got the other case, the one I didn't show the total video on, about the Richardson girl and her boyfriend, who was an autistic man. But they follow that same pattern. And why did the Richardson girl, want her parents dead? She wanted them dead because they said, you can't date the 23-year-old boy or man. It's not a difficult thing to prove. It's not. It happens over and over. And in that video that I made, you'll see other cases. I don't go over them, but I show the headlines. Other cases. Now, I want to go back to one thing, and that is this element that abuse is a mitigating factor, right? That's the other thing that Gypsy's cult members are trying to say, right? That's why Bree is reading all this Mike's notes about the abuse. Well, it wasn't just Munchausen. You guys don't understand. She also had all of this other abuse, right? Okay, let's say some of that is true. I don't know if you believe it or not. It doesn't matter, because I'm going to show you the other part of this, which is about using abuse as a motive. Let me just ask a question. I'm sure out of all the people who are here, over 1,600 people here in this live, that some of you were abused as children. I'm sure some of you did not have great childhoods. I'm sure some horrendous things may have happened to you as children. Yet, and maybe even from your parents, I don't know. It's probably a pretty good possibility with that many people. But how many of you plotted the murder of your parents? Abuse is not a motive. It's not a reason to get off. It's a mitigating factor. It can be a mitigating factor if it's true abuse. But I want to show you a case. I want to show you a case here of a girl who was truly abused. Okay, and let's see what happened to her. And this is from another one of my videos. I will put down in the description box after the live. Hated that Chrissy was subjected to severe abuse when it comes to severely abused who had no. Professor Heidi.
He was scared shitless of me.
According to Professor Heidi, you can still be abused and be a psycho. This is Kathleen Heidi. She is an expert on parricide. Okay. And she has done many case studies on this. She has one of the best-selling books on parricide. And so let's take a listen to this clip. Path at the same time. The question is, was Gypsy acting in self-defense?
Scared shitless of me.
According to Professor Heidi, you can still be abused and be a psychopath at the same time. The question is, was Gypsy acting in self-defense in her mind? Does she fit the criteria as someone severely abused who had no choice but to plot this crime? To understand what constitutes severe abuse when it comes to parricide offenders, consider Christy, a 16-year-old who stabbed her mother to death after a heated argument. Now, just briefly, my point here is Bree was going on that, Gypsy had this, she infantilized her, she didn't let her go to school, she yada, yada, yada. Now, let's consider this case of what is really true abuse and what happens if you kill your parent. This is the case of Chrissy, a 16-year-old who stabbed her mother to death after a heated argument. Quote, information provided by Chrissy and corroborated by others indicated that Chrissy was subjected to various forms of childhood maltreatment, including various forms of neglect, physical and emotional neglect and emotional incest, and abuse, physical, sexual, verbal, and psychological, by her parents. Chrissy was not provided with a safe place to live. She was sexually assaulted by her father. Chrissy was emotionally neglected by her mother, who failed to give her clear and genuine messages that she loved her. She saw her mother as giving her the cold shoulder and as not wanting to do anything with her. Even with that type of corroborated abuse, Chrissy didn't get a plea deal. No. Chrissy was sentenced to 40 years in prison. This case can be found in Professor Heidi's book. So there you have it. That's one case. And that was corroborated abuse. There, like there was no doubt. It was proven. Sexually abused, emotionally abused, physically abused, right? And she snaps and she murders her mother. Yet she didn't get a plea deal. That may be that. I'm not saying I think all of that is right, but I'm giving you this as an example of now, if we're going to shift the narrative and say it was emotional abuse and it was this abuse and this abuse, it doesn't matter. That may be mitigating factors, but that doesn't mean you get out in 8 years. This girl is in for 40. Because murder is murder. And so you can take that argument and you can just throw it out. Yeah, maybe mitigating circumstances. And let's hear Dan Patterson. Let me get this clip of Dan Patterson. Where is he? Here he is. He's going to talk. This is what Patterson said.
That's why Gypsy Blanchard committed this murder for one reason, and Nicholas Godejohn committed it for other reasons.
This is why Gypsy was given a deal.
Given the unique facts of this case, that's why we pled it to murder in the second degree in her case. Those mitigating factors don't exist for Nicholas Godejohn.
Did you hear that? Those mitigating factors. So what were those mitigating factors that Gypsy had? Well, that's why we talk about Munchausen by proxy. That's why we talk about it. It was the so-called medical abuse. And if you want to throw in their emotional abuse, go ahead. Okay? But she got a pretty sweet plea deal. And then he has the audacity to say, but Nicholas doesn't have those mitigating factors. But Patterson knows he did. He just wasn't able. They really tied up Nick's attorneys so they couldn't get in the right type of an expert to testify on his behalf, right? Because I think we all know Nick should probably still be in prison, but did he have mitigating circumstances? Of course he did. We all know that. We all know that. In fact, I think we would feel justice would be done if the roles were reversed, right? If he got the deal and she was in, right? So yeah, these are my arguments. You can say maybe Becca's trying to manipulate everyone. Am I trying to manipulate you? Am I not bringing sound, solid arguments? You can disagree with me. That's fine. We can debate the facts, right? But to say that I'm manipulating, I don't know, you be the judge. You just listen to me for an hour and 20 minutes talk. I'm going to take a little break here and get back to your comments. But yeah, I'd love to know. And you know what? I'm an adult. I can take constructive criticism. Absolutely. But I am not trying to manipulate anyone here on this channel. All right, let's get to let's just take a little palate cleanser here and take a brief little break. I know where I left off at. Okay, here we go. And I can't see. Well, it's Waleska Rivera, $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Christy Ortiz, $5 super sticker. Thank you. A little bit off. I love that name, not too. $4.99. Love you, Becca. Hashtag Truth Train. Amen to that. Karma J, $5. We're all here for the Truth Train. Thank you so much. Appreciate everything you've done. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the $5. I really appreciate it. Okay. Ms. I think it's Miss Pete. I'm sorry if I get it wrong. $4.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Waleska Rivera has become a new member. Welcome. Welcome to the Truth Train. Okay. Jesse E. become a new member. Welcome, Jesse. Welcome on board the Becca Scoops channel. Welcome to our Truth Train movement. And so is Anna Nicole S. Also a new member. A little bit off. Also a new member. And Ms. Pete, also a new member. Thank you guys so much. Welcome aboard the Truth Train. All right, Christy Ortiz, $2. You're a unicorn, Becca, on the Truth Train. Oh, well, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you to say. Pound $9.99 from Alyssa. Becca, I'd like to know why she gives her dad... hold on, guys. I'm going to put my glasses on because this looks like a good comment. I want to know why she gives her dad a free pass, but not only murdered her mother, but continues to slander her name. Bree is a prime example of riding on the coattails, silly woman. Yeah. So you like to know why she gives her dad a free pass? Because Gypsy has this thing about her dad. She's like the daddy's girl, but in a creepy way almost. It's I was a daddy's girl. A lot of us were daddy's girls, right? But this is it's a weird dynamic between the two of them. If you read any of the prison emails, and take a look into some of that. There's some great channels out there that have covered the prison emails, like 1980 Millennial. But yeah, if you want to know about Rod and their dynamic, I know 1980 has done a good job of going over a lot of the prison, almost all of them. Okay. Next, we've got the Ressa has become a new member. Welcome. And Chosen Disciple, $4.99. Bree with the skis, but no degree. Trying to explain legalese is comical. The girl doesn't know the difference between impeach and perjury. You said it, not me, but I can't disagree. All right. Margaret Thomas Delaney, $3 pound super sticker. Thank you. You're overseas somewhere. Thank you so much, Margaret Thomas Delaney. Thank you for being here with us. Michelle with I think it's a Greek last name. It's like Nicolaides. I know I'm just going to butcher it, but I know who you are, Michelle. Thank you so much. She says, all they have is lies, no real defense. Absolutely. Barry in bed, $5. I asked Bree in her live about Gypsy interview with Dr. Phil and her claim she had 30 surgeries and she ignored me every time. Oh, wow. Really? I'm not shocked, but yeah, that's a huge point, right? We all know that's a huge point. Margaret Thomas Delaney, I'm late. Truth Train, Southwest UK division. Oh, don't worry about it. I know it's really late over there in the UK. Hopefully you're still here. And thank you so much for the super sticker. Ranch Dressing. I love that name too. I love Ranch Dressing. Becca, I watched it and he did not review her. Not sure what Ranch Dressing. Becca, I watched it and he did not review her. All right, maybe you can like write in chat, Ranch Dressing, what that is exactly about. I mean, probably I was talking about something and my mind is not what it used to be, and I'm not remembering. So I apologize for that. Ruth, $1.99. Never doubted you. We never doubted you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you guys know I do not get everything right. And if I get something wrong, I want to like correct it right away. That's a big deal for me. Also, we all get things wrong. We're human, right? No one's infallible. So yeah. Alyssa, $4.99, £4.99. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that right. It's dollars, it's pounds. I don't care much for Bree, but the transphobic comments are not needed. Anyways, thanks for being a voice for Dee Dee, Becca. Okay, well, thank you for that comment. I don't. Maybe it was some people in chat. I myself, I refrain from. Yeah. All right, Margaret Thomas Delaney, another super sticker for £1. Thank you so much. 1 ounce of Jameson is back. ICD-9 code is for billing reimbursements. Okay, thank you. So you're talking about that leukemia. We're talking about the leukemia, and those are the codes for reimbursements. Okay, I wonder if they just automatically pop up when a nurse writes in a diagnosis. You know what I mean? I don't know how that works, but thank you for clarifying that. 1 ounce of Jameson. Angel Baby, 10 pounds. Please, if you love the truth, please hit the like button. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the gentle reminder, Angel Baby. Mighty Mulatto. I love Mighty Mulatto. $2 super sticker. That's what dependent adult children go through. Yeah, that's true. That is so true. 1 ounce of Jameson, $4.99. Mike was throwing shit against the wall, hoping something would stick. That's his job. You were so right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody in America needs a vigorous defense. And so he was doing his job. He was trying to come up with something, anything to defend his client. I would say my only critique of Mike is that he did I did catch him in some lies about the facts. And so I don't think they should lie. I think they should give a vigorous defense. But I think somewhere Mike kind of crossed the Rubicon, so to speak, on, being a vigorous defense to getting so emotionally involved with the case that he started to believe some stuff, not knowing it wasn't backed up by credible facts. I'm talking about, like, he talks about the teeth falling out and saying it was the medication Dee Dee was giving her, and there's no evidence that was the truth. All right, SD Anna MS, for 499 pounds. I wish I had Bree as my bestie because she's an expert in everything. I'd only need one person to cover all my needs. Queen Bree, laughing my ass off. Love you, Becca. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, SD Anna. I love that comment. All right, Jill B, member for 2 months. If you read an ER doc and a PhD psych, I'm here to help. Oh, really, Jill? Oh, please email me at beccascoops@gmail.com. Like, yeah, please. I wouldn't take up too much of your time, but I would love to pick your brain. All right, Mighty Mulatto, $5. Are you saying there is a criminal pathology like disease? No, I think you're talking when I was talking about the patterns. So usually crimes follow certain patterns, like, right, when someone does a crime of passion, it usually follows a certain pattern. They walk in, like the one thing I always say, they walk in, they find their spouse or their partner in bed with someone, and they pick up a gun or they pick up a knife. That's like the pattern of a crime of passion, right? And so when you study, and I haven't done this, but I have my son who has a degree in criminology in Mitch, and so they study, the part of it is studying the patterns of certain crimes and certain criminals take. And so that's why when Mike was like, it's unprecedented, I don't know what kind of defense to do. This crime is unprecedented. It's unique. That got the antennas up on people over in this household, because we're like, crimes usually fit patterns. 9 times out of 10, there's a pattern, and you can find the pattern, So a conspiracy to murder, husband hires a guy to go kill his wife. There's patterns to these things. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Mighty Mulatto. If not, let me know, email me, or leave another comment. But because I want to, I don't have all the answers, obviously, but yeah. Mika Jones, $9.99 super sticker. Thank you, Mika. RX Queen has become a new member. Welcome. Crystal Pistol gifted 5 Becca Scoops memberships. Oh, Crystal Pistol, I love you. Thank you so much. You guys, thank Crystal if you got one of those memberships. Heather, 99-cent super sticker. Thank you so much, Heather. Thank you. Vanity and Darkness, $4.99 super sticker. Jill B, $69.99. Wow, thanks for your hard work regarding the case. Wow, Jill B, that is super generous, and thank you so much. Thank you so much. JH has become a new member. Welcome, JH. Welcome to the Truth Train. Accidental Genius, I know that name too. Nora Jackson, maybe you're referring to somebody? Yeah, Accidental Genius, I'm sorry. I get to this after I talk, and so if you need something answered or if you're referring to somebody, let me know. Thank you. Angel Baby, a 50-pound super sticker. Oh my gosh, so generous tonight, Angel Baby. You are just wonderful. You are just one of the biggest supporters of this channel, and I'm so grateful and so humbled by your support. Natalie at 777, $9.99 super sticker. Thank you, Natalie. Super generous. Lindsay Lou has become a new member. Everyone welcome Lindsay Lou to the Truth Train. Welcome, Lindsay. Blanche, $20. Thanks, Blanche. Bree said, this is what Blanche says. Bree said the judge went through all documents, and that's why she got the plea deal. That's not
how this works. No, let's just follow that line. Okay, let's just follow this line. Now, we know from Dr. Fabian that there was no medical expert on the case to go through Gypsy's medical records to write what's called an expert report, right? So you got a whole bunch of medical records, right? And you got lawyers looking at them. They're not doctors. Why would the judge take a look at any of her medical records? Well, he wouldn't. He might look at an expert report, but there wasn't any expert report written for the defense because they got the plea deal and they were going to hire Dr. Fabian. And Dr. Fabian told us, Mike said, we don't need you. Thanks, but no thanks. We're not hiring you, right? So what happens in that case? Well, the judge is there to make sure everything is legal and that the plea deal is legal and all that, right? And is fair and right. But basically, you've got the prosecutor and the defense that work out a deal, right? And then the judge is there to judge it, to say, okay, you guys both agree on this. It's legal. The deal you've made is legal. It's just a summary, a very light summary of it. But the point is, there was no expert report on the medical records. So do you think a judge who's not a medical doctor would say, hey, can I look at her medical records? No. Any more than a medical expert would say, hey, can I read that legal brief? I'm going to look at that and it's going to make sense to me. No, not an expert in medical stuff, right? He wouldn't read it. That's just a ridiculous notion. I'm going to sit down and start reading pages of medical documents. For what? No. All right. I hope that helps, Blanche. Farrah Phoenix has become a new member. Welcome, Farrah. Welcome to the Truth Train and the Truth Movement. Retired stay-at-home mom, super sticker, 99 cents. Thank you so much. Retired stay-at-home mom, Kimberly, aka Kimley, has become a new member. Welcome. Welcome aboard the Becca Scoops family, and welcome to the Truth Train Movement. Lanky Tor, member for 7 months. Thank you. Amazing work, Becca. We love you. Thank you, Lanky. I love you too. Dazed and Confused, $10. Jip is competition with Mia for Daddy's Love. She got issues. That's why he has a pass. Yeah, that's a great point. Great point there, Dazed and Confused. RX Queen, $9.99. Becca, keep it up. You're an honest and thorough creator. You don't fall into the gossip traps. Real facts. RN to RN, nothing but love and respect, and work with medically complex kids like Jip was. Oh, wow, that's great. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate the hard work. I know that's a tough job. And yeah, RN to RN. Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate it. All right. Pafana, $2.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Retired stay-at-home mom, $1.99. Bree is bringing people to your channel, Becca. Well, okay. Thank you. Right? Thank you. Lanky Tor, $19.99 super sticker. Thank you, Lanky. You're always so generous. Accidental Genius again. Look up Nora Jackson. Oh, okay. Thank you, Accidental Genius. Got it. Thank you. Mental note. I will look that up. The next one, JWYLD, $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. And last but not least, Eva Castman, $1.99 super sticker. You guys have been so generous. Thank you so much. That's for our palate cleanser. Let's get to a little bit more content then. Let's go back to the show. All right. I wanted to start off this segment. I asked you guys, and you guys can still do this if you want. If you guys would like to be a part of a video, let me just show you. This is, I asked if you guys want to be part of a video, send me just a video of what happened to bring you to this case. And here's an example by somebody that is probably in chat. I wasn't sure if she wanted me to use her name or not, but I'm going to go ahead and show this video. Here you go. This is something that if you guys want to do something like this, please send it to me. I would appreciate it. And you'll probably end up in a video.
I was a supporter of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I thought that she was sympathetic and her mom was portrayed as a monster, which is what I believed. Then she got out of prison and I saw her personality, which turned me off because she was arrogant. She lacked humility and she's trying to be an influencer when her co-defendant is still serving life for her crime. That didn't sit right with me. That wasn't okay. And then I saw this interview, The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And in that show, she said that she emptied a BB gun into her mom in a fit of rage and thought that she had killed her mom. She thought it was a real gun. And so that just put up a red flag because I thought that she killed her mom in the final act or had Nick do it because she had just finally snapped and couldn't take anymore. But it turns out she had been murderous and had this rage in her for quite some time. And that definitely didn't sit right with me because she's influencing young people. People are seeing her as a role model. And that made me want to dive deeper into the case.
Yes, I was vaping. Sorry. I'm a big vapor. Yeah. Used to be a big smoker, a lot of nurses smoke. We used to, at USC, we had this rooftop where the helicopter would come, and on breaks we'd all go out there. And that I never smoked until I was 30 something, but yeah, smoking is not good. My kids got me onto vaping. And so it's a vape. I got to do it. It's just, I got to have it. Got to have it. Lowest nicotine level, the 3 milligrams, and I'm good. And pretty soon I want to get down to 0, just get it down to 0. Cause yeah, but yeah, I love me some vaping. I really do. I really do enjoy it. All right. Where are we? So if you guys would like to make a video like that, please feel free. I think they can be moving, powerful parts of, we're going to do these little type of sizzle reels like I talked about in the beginning. And we're going to do a couple of them. So if you guys want to be a part of that or be a part of my live, like she was just a part of the live, feel free. If you're not camera shy, if you want just your first name mentioned, I can just put your first name on the, up there when you're talking, or if you want your whole name, or you just want to stay anonymous, that's fine too. But please feel free, you're on the truth train. You don't have to do it. Obviously it's not a requirement, but if you feel the need, you're like, yeah, that would be kind of cool. I kind of want to, be in a video, and that would be kind of cool to just, say my piece about how I came to this case, how I thought one thing, and then this one thing hit me, whatever your epiphany was, then I saw this and blah, 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 yeah, I just think I love that. That is so honest. It's so true. And I think it moves people when they see different people talking like that in a video. I really do. So feel free, if you guys want to, as part of your truth train movement, if you'd like to do that, please just go ahead and email it to me at beccascoops@gmail.com. And again, let me know if you want your name in it or not, how you want to be known. It could be your YouTube name, whatever. All right. So what else do we have? Yep. We have one other thing here. I didn't do, well, let's go. We all know about Gypsy's age, right? We all know about Gypsy's age. But let's go ahead. This was from Morgan Elena's video. She had played some of this Gypsy reneging again about her age. And this part about her age has changed so much. It's so crazy that I want to break it down, because remember in the beginning, Gypsy's like, I didn't have candles on my birthday cake, right? I didn't have candles on my birthday cake. Well, let's take a listen to the news story.
Shit like that.
Yeah, birthday candles. Like, haven't they given to think that the birthday parties that I had, I feel like was for other people? If they had candles on the birthday cake, it wasn't because my mom said, hey, you are this old. It was because, hey, we're having a party where a lot of people are going to be invited. And, at an age, that stopped. So, like, I really didn't have numbers on my candles after, 13. So, if I...
Okay, now it's changed to 13. Can I ask, when you're 13, and you know how old you are, you're like, today I am 13. I know my birthday is July 27th. So when July 27th comes, I'm going to turn 14. Is there any way you can be fooled? That's not your age. I don't know if she realizes what she says sometimes, but that's what she just said. Not until she was 13 now. All right.
And, at an age, that stopped. So, like, I really didn't have numbers on my candles after, like, 13. So, if I had numbers on my candles when I was little, which I did, that is kind of before my mom started changing the birth years. Because at that time, you don't need to change the birth years on a 9-year-old's, age.
Right.
It's only when you get in your teen years that she was knocking back a couple years.
Well, the thing is, they expect, well, okay, by that age, you should just always just remember at that point. And I think what people seem
And
to
then,
understand is,
see, Bree knows there. Bree's, she's like, yeah, well, people kind of expect like you should just remember at that age, just what I said. Well, you should know your age at that age. It's not like you're 3 years old, right? You're 13 years old.
the confusion, like,
mom would tell me, "Oh, the car wreck that we were in 2001. The car wreck messed her up pretty bad. It ruined her leg. But she would tell me that she has memory loss from that car accident and guilt trip me and be like, "Oh, you think I'm crazy, or I understand that you might think this way of me, but I know this is the year you were born." Like,
prison, one of the first birthdays you had that you knew your age going
it
into
was. So, once I was told my real age, then I was able to start celebrating and getting older.
So right there, she says, when I got to prison, that's when I first knew my age. Okay, let me bring up this other video. Hold on here just 1 minute. I can only get so many videos in the studio at once. Hold on. Here we go.
People realized they didn't understand that you didn't have a relationship with your dad at that point. But I remember asking you, how did you not know your age? How did your mom hide your age from you? And I remember you telling me that she never put the right number of candles on your cake. Remind me of that.
Yeah,
about how she hid your age from you.
Yeah, so it was happening. It probably started happening when I was about 8 years old.
What? Wait. Now it's 8 years old. I thought she didn't need to do it when you were 8. What? I mean, this is just blatant lies, right? This is just blatant lies. There's only one truth. Whatever the truth is, she always knew her age, yet she is sticking to this story that's completely fallen apart now, right? So here, this is when she's with Melissa Moore. And I wonder how Melissa Moore feels. How do you feel, Melissa Moore? How do you feel being lied to here? Or do you not care? Do you not care that you promoted this mommy murderer who is completely lied to your face over and over again? Or did you just get what you wanted, money and the producer credit, and you've moved on? I wonder, because it makes you look like a pretty shitty person, Melissa Moore. All right.
Cake. Remind me of that.
Yeah,
about how she hid your age from you.
Yeah, so it was happening. It probably started happening when I was about 8 years old. And so I didn't ask questions as an 8-year-old. But it continued on until, the crime happened. And so I get that question a lot, actually, like, how did you not know your age? And growing up, for birthday parties and for, gatherings, my mom never put numbered candles on my cake.
So as we see this, and there's a picture there. This is all from one of my videos also. And there was another thing. I won't bring it up here just for brevity point, but when Gypsy and Dee Dee got to, after Hurricane Katrina, and they were life flighted into Missouri, they were stayed at this hospital for a while. And part of it, the hospital did this spread in one of their, like, the hospitals, sometimes they have their own hospital magazine. And Dee Dee and Gypsy appeared in this hospital magazine. They did this in-depth interview with them. They were the kind of like the little celebrities of the moment because Hurricane Katrina was such a big story. And so they get there and they're, here's the sick girl, and, and the point is, in this magazine article, Dee Dee says Gypsy's 14, and that truly was her real age. And Gypsy acknowledges that she's 14 in the article. So, during the interrogation, when Gypsy's arrested, she sticks to this lie. She wants Detective Hancock to believe that she's only 19 when she truly knows she's 23. I think now this is one of these gray areas, right? What is the reason that Gypsy sticks to that lie? What was going through her head? Like, why couldn't she just tell the truth about her age after she was arrested there she wasn't arrested yet, but during that interrogation? Why would she lead with that lie? Like, what does that lie accomplish? How does it help her? Right? How does it help her if she's 19 and not 23? And she gives this sob story about, and she says it in the interrogation, my birth certificate washed away during Katrina. And, so she had his hospital band on. She had been to the hospital after they she wasn't under arrest yet, but when they took her into custody, they took her to the hospital to get her checked out medically. And so she had an armband on, and she says, well, this says I'm 23, she's pointing to the armband. My Medicaid card says I'm 23. And that's the other point. Dee Dee wasn't lying to the government, right? Doesn't seem like it. And, but I'm really not 23. I'm 19. This does puzzle me a little bit. The only thing I can come up with, number one, she is a habitual liar. And by definition, habitual liars lie for no reason. They just do. It's an oddity. They will just lie to lie, not because it's going to help them in some way. That's part of being a pathological liar. But let's say this isn't part of being a pathological liar, that there's some angle she's trying to do here. I'm thinking because she is going to deny all of it, right? I didn't know, and that's what she ends up doing, right? I didn't know my age. I didn't know until my attorney told me my age. I didn't know my age. The Helpless Victim Act, right? Well, my mom hid my age. I didn't know about the cons. I didn't know about any of that. I didn't know she was, right? I mean, that's the only thing I can get. I'd love to know your guys's thoughts on that. Why the lie about the age? Why sticking to the lie about the age? Why now lying again about the lie about the age? So double lies going on, right? Another lie on top of a lie. And by the way, if she would have went to trial, and if an attorney could have impeached her on the stand just once, meaning if they could have proved that she lied just once to the jury, in like the legal world, once your witness lies once, they're done. They're done. The jury psychologically will not believe another word that comes out of their mouth. And so I just wanted to offer that too, because man, if she could have gone to trial, I don't think she would have even got the possibility of parole. I think if all of this would have come out, it would have been a life sentence, and she would have been lucky they didn't do the death penalty. And we're coming up on 2 hours here, so I want to kind of wrap it up. There's other things I wanted to get to, but I don't want to keep you guys all night, obviously, since Mitch will be working on the sizzle reel now. So we're going to be with you real soon. Either we'll premiere that in a live, probably. We'll probably premiere that in a live. So make sure you have your notifications on. I want to get to some more comments before we go. And if you guys, again, email me if you guys have any questions, any comments, any videos you want me to see, or the videos of you talking about this case that you want to be included in one of our videos. Please feel free. We'd love to have you in a video. All right. Let's see. So Kimberly, aka Kimley, $3 super sticker. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Delta Reinhardt has become a new member. Welcome. welcome. Is it Delta? Oh, Dietra. Dietra. I was thinking, Reinhardt, that's a good German name. My grandmother was German. Dietra Reinhardt, welcome. In fact, I don't know if you guys can see back there. Do you see there's a picture? There's one, the top one up here. This is my son. He's a deputy sheriff. And then if you go down here, there's a woman. You can barely see it. I'll bring it up later. She's in white and she's got a white hat on, right? That's my grandmother, the German grandmother, who was born in 1904. She became a registered nurse in like 1925, I believe. Her first assignment, she was so brave. And this is like 1925. Okay. Women didn't really, number one, women really didn't pursue degrees like that in 1925. But her first assignment that she took, that she wanted to take, was on an Indian reservation out in Iowa. And she had some wonderful stories, some heartbreaking stories also about that. But that's my grandmother, who was an RN, and she had 4 of her sisters that were registered nurses, one in World War II that jumped off aircraft carriers. My Aunt Ethel, God rest her soul, she's passed away also. A lot of nurses in my family, but that's my grandmother. So I know Dietra Reinhardt, good German name. New member, welcome. Chosen Disciple, $49.99. Oh, wow, very generous. And Chosen Disciple says, here's to Becca. Buy some fuel for the truth train. Donated in Bree with the skis, but no degrees name. Oh, I love the rhyme. I love the whole thing, Chosen Disciple. Thank you so much. Very generous. Good rhyme. I love a good rhyme. All right. Moral Compass, 279 super sticker. I hope Bree is in here watching this feeling stupid. Okay, Lulu B, $9.99. I was on the helicopter pad over at doing the same thing. Oh my gosh, Good Samaritan. Totally know that hospital. Yeah. Wow, Lulu B, small world. Jill B, $2.79. I think GRB coaches Bree. I do too. I totally think that. I agree with that. Like Gypsy likes to do things by proxy, right? So she wants other people to say her arguments for her. Mighty Mulatto. Oh, great. $20. Okay. 1, a person commits the offense of murder in the first degree if he or she knowingly causes the death of another person after deliberation upon the matter. How did they miss the deliberation? Becca, incapable vindicates. Oh, being incapable vindicates Dee Dee. Yes, I agree with that. How did they miss that? I mean, there was so much deliberation here. In fact, just as a side note, I didn't even play it. Part of what Bree's, whatever she was doing on that one live, she talks about how Gypsy told her Gypsy plotted to get her feeding tube changed that night. Remember, they go to the hospital. Dee Dee and Gypsy go to the hospital the night before the murder. And Bree says in her live that Gypsy instigated that feeding tube change because Gypsy was worried that after her mom was murdered, she wouldn't have a way to change the feeding tube. And she knew the feeding tube had to be changed every 6 months. That's called premeditation. I mean, of course, there was a whole bunch of other evidence of premeditation, but there's another one. Making her mom take her to the hospital to get the feeding tube changed because she knew her mom was going to be murdered and she was worried she would be gone. And she asked Nick, is there a hospital in Wisconsin? Well, not in Wisconsin, where he lives in Big Bend. And Nick says no, but there's one farther out. The reason Gypsy was asking him, and I had already kind of deduced this, and I already said this in one video, I kind of already figured that whole thing out, that she asked him that because she's worried about her feeding tube. And she was so worried about it, knowing her mother was going to be murdered the next night, that she made her mother, and you saw her mother pushing her in the wheelchair, that Dee Dee, barely walking, right? Not doing well, but she made her mother take her to the hospital to get it changed because she was going to murder her. Can't make this stuff up. Okay. That's what her cult said, not me. That comes from her side. All right. Cynthia Shockley, $10. Doctor of Psychiatric Social Work at your service. Oh, wonderful, Cynthia. Thank you so much. Please email me. Please, just if you just get a minute, just so I have your email. I am on the truth train, Becca. You have my respect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cynthia. I would love to talk with you too. All right, 1 ounce of Jameson again, $1.99. She took a binder of IDs to Dan's. Yeah, she knew. Absolutely. More evidence. Those are facts. That's facts. All right. And Tori, $9.99. Great timing with the live, the 30-minute drive from work to flew by. Oh, I'm so happy. I love to listen to lives, and yeah, I do the same thing when I'm driving. I'm a critical care respiratory therapist. Oh, wow. Okay. It's rare with my schedule that I get to catch these truly live. Hashtag Hashtag all aboard the truth train. Thank you so much, Tori. And thank you for what you do as being a critical care respiratory therapist. That's a tough job. You're a smart person. That's yeah, I know all about that. And thank you for what you do for people. I know this community appreciates everyone in the healthcare field that is out there on the front lines. All right, guys, I am going to go ahead and wrap it up. I would promise to tell you a few things. I had some phone call conversations, and I may be having a big announcement, possibly like a big, possibly a big interview with someone who is involved with this case. So that's kind of in the works. So I'm teasing it right here. And I wouldn't tease it if it wasn't like halfway a done deal. So, yeah, make sure you're sub to my channel if you like this content, if you're interested, and notifications on, because we got the sizzle reel that will be coming up that will premiere in a live. You guys do not want to miss that either. And yeah, what else? I think that's going to do it for Becca Scoops. You guys chat. You guys have been wonderful. I love all of you. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for spending your Monday evening with me. Or if you're overseas, it's the middle of the night for you guys, right? Thank you for being with me in the middle of the night. I appreciate that too. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it. Email me if you need me. And yeah, Becca Scoops out. Good night, guys.